How's our Patreon?
Yeah.
See, that's our problem right there.
Because you could be sponsoring us right now.
You could be.
But you can't.
But you can't.
We don't have that set up yet. Carmex could sponsor us. If they wanted to.
So bad. Beat Ashy Lips. Beat Ashy Lips with Carmex.
It'd be funny. You know how on some podcasts they have a sponsor and then they like pause the show and it's like a thing after or before the show where they say, I'll talk to you about this. And you just have a cut where it's just in the video, it pauses in mid-sentence and you just say, beat Ashy Lips with Carmex. Actually, regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, the whole, I mean, podcasting now is becoming really, it's becoming so popular that people that are on TV every day are now making podcasts.
Yeah. Bill Maher.
No, Bill Maher's not making a podcast. Bill Maher is making a show for HBO that they allow to be in a podcast. Like all they do is they just take his show, the audio, and throw it over to the podcast, just like his YouTube channel is just his show. Okay,
yeah, but they
and
do the
clips.
same thing with Rachel.
Rachel is the same thing. It's still just her show thrown into the podcast. She has her blog, and that is the thing that is the other thing. But see, now you're starting to get like Rachel Maddow and Chris Hayes, who are now going and doing their regular show and doing a podcast. Meet the Press is doing it. Many other outlets are focusing on the podcast. Even radio is making podcasts, which is interesting.
Wasn't it already sort of a podcast?
No, it's radio. See, radio has time constraints. It has all of this stuff that goes in there, the programming, the scheduling, the guests, whatever.
Gotcha.
Now, imagine they're taking, like, I listened to the BBC's Click, and they have an intro and an outro that is just for the podcast. And then their regular show is the thing that they did that got broadcast on the radio. So it's very interesting to see that these. We don't need all that, do we?
Yeah, because I just poured the water in just now.
Why?
You can just do your own thing.
This wasn't the setup. We didn't need the decor.
Anyway, but yeah, this idea that so we sit around and we make a podcast, but now they've got literally all of the production equipment and everything to just come in and make this super professional podcast with editing and editors and all this stuff and all this money behind it. Is that really fair? The whole idea of podcasting was not to do all of that, especially with video. Most podcasts are not video; it's audio only. It's radio, and it was supposed to be a space where it wasn't supposed to be drowned out by the big boys. And now it seems like it's getting there. It's getting to that point where it's like people are consuming podcasts. Forget YouTube videos. They're like a set off to themselves because video and audio could be just anything.
Right.
But the idea of a podcast and having audio where it can be played in your car, it can be played in your headphones, it can be played on your whatever devices. You could be doing other things because, just in my setup this morning, I was, I'm listening to a podcast, right? I think I was listening to Tested. I'm listening to Tested while I'm doing my setup for this. And it's something that is, it's radio.
Right.
What?
I said you could listen to them on your iPod.
Well, that's what they were designed for.
Right. And
my first podcast was years ago when I did the Giver with my classmates in that YA text class, and that was my first podcast.
Like you made a podcast?
Yeah. We made a podcast with sound effects and everything.
Nice. I think
we did a review, or we did a. It wasn't a review. It was like a a trailer for the book in audio form.
I think a similar thing happened with YouTube though. People people who had either been doing TV or, what you were talking about.
Broadcast.
They saw that people stopped watching what they were doing and went to this other platform, and it became super popular, and then they're like, well, let's go over there then.
I mean, I guess
With all of our same stuff. let's
if
just
I'm
go over
a
there.
content creator that's a big company and I'm creating like lots of shows, I'm backing lots of shows and we're putting them on TV and blah blah. It makes sense that this is just the next medium, just to put our shows on that thing, right? But then it seems what's happening is once that starts to happen, then people start leaving that platform. And then they start going to the next thing. So the gaming talk, right, was on YouTube. It's still on YouTube. But now they're on Twitch. And now they're on, what's the other one? There's another one. Discord. They're doing the thing, the Microsoft thing, the Xbox Microsoft thing. That's got, I forget the name of it, but
Xbox Live?
no. It's another name.
Oh, I don't know.
If you hit your Xbox button on your controller, it pops up.
Oh, that other broadcast thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing people are moving away from the larger. Once the big companies start to come in, then all of us end up moving somewhere else. The good thing about our podcast is it's on Blueberry,
Right.
so we don't have to move anywhere. Even though we're on Spotify.
And iTunes.
Oh no, we're on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts. It's all the stuff that, of course, goes that Blueberry goes. Blueberry goes, and then you can just go straight to the website, the Blueberry website, and get it. But that'd
be a great transition to start reading the paper.
What?
Would be an awesome transition.
You know, if you say it would be an awesome transition,
Well, we can't do it because it's not the end of the show yet.
You know that, right?
Yeah,
But you just killed the possibility of the transition.
No, play babe.
This is not good radio anymore. We had good radio until you start talking about transitions
Really?
in your Sunday gear. Anyway, so yes, it's very interesting. I don't. As I'm listening, I think BBC has had lots of podcasts out there for quite a while now.
They have hundreds.
Yeah, they have a lot. If you go to iTunes and type in BBC, you only see like literally a very small percentage of what's actually in their podcast. You go to their website and you're like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do with this? It's like way too many things to even look at.
I never listen to podcasts on my own, ever.
Because you're a sad buddy.
Even though, like, sometimes I want to listen to the RuPaul, Michelle Visage podcast, but I never listen to them on my own.
Sad buddy.
I prefer to sit in silence, I guess. China killed my ears.
Sad buddy.
But there's a new one coming out on the BBC that I want to hear.
Oh no.
Just because, even if it's just a few episodes, but it's just because it's these two moms doing a parenting thing, and neither one of them are child
How
development
did
people.
I know you were going to say that?
Neither one are child development people. One is a scientist and one is a journalist.
This is proof that if you pub another podcast on your podcast, people go listen.
Yeah, because I want to see what these women have to say. Neither one of them are child development people.
You're going to argue with these women. I can feel it. I can feel it.
I'm
You're going to
gonna
argue.
argue.
With
I
it.
can't
You're going to be
I
like
was so
you're going to be like
excited.
Sister Fee and Nature Boy, right? You're going
Oh,
to argue with these women.
No.
You're going to take them to task on a weekly. We're going to have a whole segment of you taking their podcast to task.
Do you see my face right here?
That's
What is the point?
Aaron, do you know how many parenting
here we
things
go,
that
here
you
we go.
know already that are so much better than the majority of people simply because of who your parents are and how you were taught?
I don't know what you're talking about. I just say two words, man. 2 words. Parenting advice. Here's my number 1 parenting advice. 2 words. Beat them.
He lies. He says it all the time, but he doesn't do it.
Beat them. Oh, but the threat is always there.
Listen, we would watch the Nanny 911 and Super Nanny and all that stuff, and you would make comments about how these children behaved and the parents that were more professional and educated than any other parents I know.
So, you do want to listen to it and take them to the task.
Hell yeah!
See, I told you. I knew it. I knew as soon as that commercial
Yes.
came on that you were over there like, these bitches.
That's exactly what I thought! That's exactly what I thought when they were like, I'm a scientist and I'm a journalist and we'll talk about all the parenting issues you want. And I'm like, but what the fuck makes you bitches qualified? You're gonna tell me how a child works when you haven't studied
Oh
it?
God, here we go. See, it started already and you haven't even listened to one episode. Breathe. Woosah. Come on.
I cannot even wait.
Next from the traveling far is the gaming chat.
Gaming chat is way more fun than what's about to happen.
Listen what this
We
week.
might have to let her sit at the table alone. I'll be on the other side of the camera. I'll work. I'll make that my only podcast where we actually do camera moves.
I'll turn back into the.
Oh, then I can get a slider. All right. So if you want to find the Traveling Farrs, you can find us on the YouTube, the Facebook, the Pinterest, the iTunes, and the Spotify.
Do it.
As the Traveling Farrs. If you like the Twitter and the Instagram, Traveling Farrs. If you like the email, travelingfars@gmail.com, and on the blog space, the travelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry. Anything else for the people? Nope. Done doing duck lips.
Nope.
Say goodbye to the people. Everybody say goodbye. Peace!